Natalie Foster from the Girls Guide to Guns joins us on the program. Natalie, good evening.
Hey, how are you, Cam?
I'm excellent. Would you like that to be your theme song from now on? We could just.
How does that even apply to me? That's what I want to know.
It doesn't. It doesn't.
Yeah.
Previous conversation. Listen, I'm glad you could be with us on the program tonight. I'll tell you something that does apply. Amnesty International
Yes.
has a new program. They say small arms, meaning pistols, rifles, shotguns, put women at risk in their own homes. And so they are trying to get women around the globe to voluntarily disarm their households. There's a quote here that I want to start with. Annie Matundo Mbabi of the Democratic Republic of Congo said in a recent interview, and I'm quoting here from Amnesty International, a guy with a machete in a village can rape one woman. Two guys with a machine gun can rape the whole village. Amnesty International, I guess, didn't take that to the logical conclusion of what would happen if every woman in that village had a gun to defend herself.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought too. And the other problem with that is that they're comparing the Congo, a war zone, to the U.S. Completely different situations, and they're not taking into account Switzerland, where everybody is required to have a gun and it's completely peaceful and they never have gun violence. I don't know. It's a big stretch there, and I really appreciate where Amnesty is coming from.
Mm-hmm.
I think obviously it's a good place. They want violence against women reduced. That is it's a lofty goal and a great win, and I think we should all aspire to that, of course. But the way that they're going about it is it doesn't make sense, actually, if you look at some of the statistics in this particular article. Honestly, they're laughable. Where do they come from? I'm sure you read them. What is it, 41%?
Yeah. Yeah, let me let's see. According to research in the USA, just having a gun in the home increases the risk of someone in the home being murdered by 41%. They say for women in particular, the risk is nearly tripled with an increase of 272%. I believe that came from the Department of pulling statistics out of their rear end, but I can't be entirely sure. No, look, now here's the thing. You've got all of these anti-gun studies that have been conducted over the past 40 years or so. That may have been... let me see if I can find the link here. That may have been... Oh, it's from IANSA, the International Action Network on Small Arms. So, again, it's another anti-gun group that apparently did a report back in 2005, the impact of guns on women's lives. So let me ask you, Natalie, what's been the impact of firearms on your life?
The opposite. I feel it's funny because I'm in Canada right now, and obviously I don't have my guns with me, and I feel insecure here. Actually, I'm walking down the street by myself in the dark, whatever. I don't like that feeling, and now I didn't even realize that what it would be like to have my guns taken away. Really, obeying the law up here.
Yeah.
But being at home and having the right to bear arms has really increased my confidence, and it has made me I know that I can defend myself. The thing about firearm ownership for women, for anybody really, is that along with it firearm ownership kind of engenders this mentality of safety and personal protection and all that stuff. And for me, I know that I feel much safer and much stronger and much more capable, not just in, using a firearm, but also just in my day-to-day life,
Yeah, well, absolutely. Now, I got to ask, what are you doing up there in Canada?
Well, the boyfriend is working on a movie up here, and it's pretty cool, actually, and it's filled with guns. It's actually Resident Evil 5, and who knew? They were already making Resident Evil 5.
Wow.
Yeah, but it's a lot of fun to watch, and they've got some really great guns, and I'm so proud of the lead actress. She really knows how to handle her
firearms. Is Mila Jovovich the lead actress?
Yeah,
Nice.
She's very talented. I'm really impressed with her.
Interesting. And I guess it's funny that your boyfriend and Holly, I guess all of the movies now are being made in Canada? Is the Hollywood
sadly,
of the North?
because of they all start in California and then they export them because of all the tax incentives in so many other places. So yeah, that's what's happening. Yeah.
All right, now back to this amnesty piece.
Yes.
They conclude. They say to reduce the availability of guns used to commit violence against women around the world, the Arms Trade Treaty, the UN Arms Trade Treaty, should require countries to prevent any international transfer of conventional arms when there is a substantial risk the arms are likely to be used to commit serious violations of international human rights law
Right.
or international humanitarian law. And they say, as negotiations move forward, we must continue to hold governments responsible for protecting their citizens and upholding the human rights of women who live within their borders. Now,
Right.
look, here's the thing. I mean, we've talked about this before, Natalie. First responders, our government ultimately cannot be responsible for our individual safety. Our Supreme Court has ruled this in Castle Rock versus Gonzalez that we don't have, we cannot have the expectation that the
Right.
police are there to protect us as individuals. Well, that means, Natalie, you've got your right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And if your right to life is not protected by the police, your individual right to life, that means you are responsible.
Absolutely. Yeah, and that's a gift. We're lucky that we get to do that. It's a blessing. And I mean, I think that they're talking obviously largely about these countries in Africa or, Middle East or whatever that have, guns being imported. But the problem is, I mean, it's like they've never heard of the black market. They're not taking that kind of thing into account. So they're painting, with a very wide brush, just over way too many issues here. They're making very wide general statements over things that are very intricate, and they don't apply. The UN is trying to make laws for countries all over the world that are completely different societies. So, it's a really dangerous thing to do, and you just can't do that,
Absolutely. Well, listen, I'm glad you could be with us on the program tonight. Say hi to Milla for us, will you?
I definitely will. She'll say hi back, I'm sure.
If she wants to, plug Resident Evil 5 and talk about some of the guns that they use in the movie, we'd be happy to have her on at some point in the future.
Okay, I will let them know.
All right, thanks, Natalie. We'll talk to you again soon.
Great talking to you, Cam.
Natalie Foster with the Girls Guide to Guns joining us here on the program.